4 tonight. Pacers' formula for success has been getting Tyrese Halliburton to score 20 or more points. They are 8-1 when Halliburton has 20-plus points this season. The Thunder lost Game 3, but they have repeatedly shown that they know how to bounce back. OKC is 17-2 following a loss this season, including the playoffs, tied for the second-best record all time. And despite being down 2-1 in the series, the Thunder are minus 220 favorites still to win the title. That's to keep the Sharps away. More on that in a minute. Fortenbuagh sitting here. Also a 5.5-point favorite Game 4 tonight, according to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. So let's get into this one with our basketball brain trust. I knew that joke was coming. Monica Allen, Fortenbuagh. Okay, plain and simple. Down 2-1, you're on the road, you lose. For the Thunder, the favorite. Is this a must-win for them tonight?
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, I think this series has been so competitive that if they don't win tonight, just do the math. Do you expect them to be able to rattle off 3 consecutive wins versus this Indiana Pacers team? And I do not. And so I expect them to respond. Going into the 2 games at Indiana, I expected these teams to split.
Yeah, this is must-win. It's not technically a must-win, but it has that feel of a must-win. So, like you're looking at this as where this series is going to go and what are the Thunder all about? Because all we saw all season, they were a dominant team that played their way, and they made you turn the ball over. Not them. They didn't turn the ball over. So they've got to clean that up, and they've got to get this win. Otherwise, they're not going to win the championship.
I think we're just starting to see here. We touched on this earlier. Rick Carlisle's been here, done that with the Dallas Mavericks. We've got a young coach on the other side. Are we starting to see the Rick Carlisle experience become a huge factor in this series?
I think whoever, if the Pacers win the championship, whoever is named Finals MVP should hand the trophy to Rick Carlisle, because he right now is the real MVP. He has done it throughout the playoffs with the adjustments that he's made from series to series, and also the way he has used his rotation. It's not just heavy on his starters or reliant so much on a star player. We all like to do this whole, what does Halliburton need to do more in this game? It's not about that. It's about what the Pacers do as a group. We have had a hard time buying in for some reason because the NBA is all about stars. But the real star of this team is their head coach. He has been phenomenal. He even made the Thunder change the way they play and change their lineup to match up with them.
Is he out coaching?
Yeah. I mean, he's been doing that through this. Y'all, they were supposed to win the Bucks, maybe, was the series that they might have been favored in. But they have not been favored in any series since then. And to your point, Hahn, I think when you look at how the Pacers do it, it is so counterculture to what we're dealing with in the NBA in terms of there's not one guy that is consistently the centerpiece. Now, yes, they look different if Tyrese Halliburton is having a triple-double sort of night. But a triple-double sort of night for him also includes somebody else who's going off for 25-plus, right? And so you could actually then sit and have these debates over who's sort of this key piece for a team that doesn't have finals experience outside of Pascal Siakam. Rick Carlisle is pulling all the right notes at the right times. I mean, you look at a guy like Obi Toppin, who was here in New York, right? Like, he is in a system that is perfect for his skill set. You look at what he's been able to do with his bench. 31 bench points in Game 1? Like, come on.
You can use the bench. He's used it to his advantage. Rick Carlisle has been brilliant in this series. So when you break it all down, Fortenbuagh, getting into tonight's Game 4, give me your best bet and why.
I think what you want to do is look at the adjustments the coaching staffs will make and then take advantage of that. Tyrese Halliburton under 8.5 assists. Now, people will think that's a crazy bet because we just saw him drop 11 in Game 3. We're playing pricing here. Game 1, 6 assists. Game 2, 6 assists. So what happens? Bookmakers move the prop from 8.5 down to 7.5. Halliburton goes off at home. Then, as a result, bookmakers think we got to bump this thing back up. We want to buy low here. Indiana shot 51% from the floor in Game 3. Not only was that their best shooting performance of the entire series, it was the second best shooting performance anyone had put on OKC in 19 games this postseason. When those numbers drop, the assists will drop, and I think Lou Dort's going to have a much better time tonight against Halliburton.
Like the first 2 games, Siakam shot 4 of 13 off passes from Halliburton. That is not normal. The more normal was what happened in Game 3, where they were making their shots off those passes. So that is certainly something to watch because defense will affect his assist total.
Indiana got the coveted road split in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City looking to do the same tonight. Give me your pick and why, Monica.
I got OKC. I think they respond. Like I said, going into the 2 in Indiana, I thought this would be split. But I also look at the 19 points or the 19 turnovers that were 21 points for the Pacers. When you give the Pacers life in terms of turning the ball over, and I will give their defense credit, I think more of those turnovers were forced by their defensive intensity as opposed to the Thunder just not being having their heads in the right place. But you got to control that number. You cannot spot the Pacers 21 points.
When it comes to the Pacers,
you're picking Oklahoma City as well.
Yeah, I'm picking the Thunder here, and what I need to see from the Oklahoma City Thunder is more of a football mentality because they let their star player, SGA, get picked up 65 feet on average from the basket, something that Monica and I saw a ton of in the Eastern Conference Finals. Did the same exact thing to Jalen Brunson.
Sure did.
They did the same thing to Darius Garland as well in the Cavs series. It's what they do. You had to know this was coming. And Isaiah Hartenstein sets big, tough screens. He played 18 minutes. I need him to play more.
The best screener he's ever played.
I need him to play more,
Yeah.
and he's got to play more. But I need him setting screens a little further down and getting these dogs off him. They don't have one guy guarding him. Yeah. They've got 3 to 4. They've got McConnell. They've got Shepard. They've got, obviously, Nembhard's done the most of it. Nesmith. They're throwing all kinds of guys at you.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they can't get tired because you just keep rotating them in and out. Mark Messier knows about this. It's called line changing.
Okay, I see you.
Fresh bodies.
It's constantly sending new bodies out there. They have got to hit these bodies and make it, because it's hard to pick up and play defense for 65 feet. It's even harder if you're running into a brick wall every time.
I would just also add to Matt, the OKC cannot shrink in the fourth. Like Chet Holmgren, you can't get blocked by Miles Turner as if you don't see this shot blocker. Like they cannot shrink in the fourth. They have to be able to compete on both sides and help.
OKC, you're just going to be a follower and pick OKC.
OKC is going to bum rush him in the first half. All 5 losses this postseason. OKC's outscoring the opposition in the first half by 15 points per game.
Joined our show and left us with some memorable sound bites. It was really, really peak Magic Johnson. So let's hear Magic at the mic, starting with his crystal clear expectations for Luka Doncic's first full season as a Laker.
Luka, it's great what you did in Dallas, but the difference is in Los Angeles, we expect championships, and we expect our superstars to lead us to a championship. LeBron has already did that. Now we want Luka to do the same thing.
Monica and Alan back with us. So let's piggyback on what Magic Johnson just said. Will Luka get LeBron a championship with the Lakers?
They can get a championship, but it's not if Luka becomes a fitness model like everybody's so obsessed with, all right? They can get a championship if they get a center. They need a big man. It's as simple as that. Look at this. The off-season videos are great. This is so. Monica posts videos like this on her Instagram.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, this is.
She's in great shape as well.
Thank you.
This is not about Luka being svelte and all that stuff. He's a great player, and they play well together. They need a center. They get a center, they become a contender instantly.
Who needs a center when you have an Adonis like that?
Don't skip legs day. Don't ever skip legs day.
Well, you don't skip arms day. You got to shoot those long threes as well.
You got to look right, too.
You got to look good
doing
doing
it.
I think that the Lakers will improve, which is a no-brainer because Luka Doncic is an excellent basketball player. JJ Redick's going to improve as a coach, and LeBron James has given us 2 decades of excellence. But the makeup of this team is still the conversation, and I agree with Hahn. You're looking at that center spot. Now, the other thing I will add to this conversation is for as jaw-dropping and fantastic as LeBron James has been, I would submit that as of late, in terms of the last couple seasons, he does look like fatigue kind of catches up to him late in the postseason. So I would argue not just the center, but some other guys that you can rely on consistently. What's my guy from Oklahoma? Can he continue to take Reeves? Can Austin Reeves continue to take the next step in terms of being reliable for the Lakers? But this is LeBron's best chance with Luka, but I'm not even sure in a loaded West that I'm ready to guarantee it.
And so you're saying they need to upgrade the roster. Let's just say the roster stays as is. Do you think that's good enough?
No.
No. Again, need a big man, need rebounding, need a rim presence. You got all the things that you were exposed to. You got, and also, Luka could come back with a 6-pack and everything that you want, but he's still not going to be a good defensive player. Like, it's a real thing.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's a real thing. Like, so you still need somebody that can protect him when they blow by him, somebody that can protect the rim. That's, to me, why the most important thing for them to do this offseason has nothing to do with what Luka does in the gym. It has to do with what you do at the front office and get yourself, not 1, but 2 big men that you can put on the floor and protect him.
You are absolutely right. I just wonder what the vision is in terms of Luka's timeline.
There you go.
Right? Like, when this trade went down, first of all, I know Dallas is going to struggle this year without Kyrie Irving, but I still think that team is better constructed to win if healthy sooner, right? But then the other part of this was Luka is going to be the heir apparent. So what is the pressure in terms of using the remaining time that you have of LeBron James, but what can Luka Doncic continue to build on for this organization when you have the time to add pieces and you're not up against
This was built for post-LeBron with Luka. All right, here in New York, if you haven't heard by now,
No, not at all.
the Knicks are still without a head coach following the firing of Tom Thibodeau. Now, Magic also weighed in on the decision and gave this warning to Knicks players.
The players wanted him gone. There's a lot of pressure on them players next season because now if you fire the coach and this is what you wanted, now you got to step up. All the excuses are gone now. Next season, Brunson, if Karl Anthony Towns comes back, all you guys, the pressure's on them.
Couldn't have two better voices here that are dialed in with the Knicks to react to Magic's comments. Monaco, you're entertained by them. What do you think?
Magic, I love you. It's great to see you on TV. Duh. Like, okay. I mean, I don't think there was anything earth-shattering there. And I will say, listening to that soundbite, Magic is correct, but to me, it's not as if there was ever a whole bunch of chatter media-wise in terms of angst with Tibbs, right? The news has come out, the reports have come out about the exit meetings, but that is the point of exit meetings. So yes, I think these guys are prepared to step up to the pressure.
By the way, did he say Karl Anthony Towns, if he comes back?
He did.
If he's back? What do you know, Magic? Like, what do you know? Because he's under contract. They just traded for him. He had an epic year during the regular season. He had some big playoff performances. If he comes back is an interesting little, just keep an eye on that. Footnote on that, because, you know, if you're going to get another star player, Giannis, KD, you'd have to move a big contract. If he comes back, to me, that caught my attention right away. But that being said, everything he said there, I'm not going to use duh. I'm going to be a little more respectful. I'm going to say that I agree with him.
With love, of course.
With love, of course. I think it's as simple as this. The honeymoon is over now in New York with this group because as maybe some people were nauseated by the fact that New Yorkers loved this Knicks team and celebrated maybe like we do in New York, a little over the top. That does happen. But I think now, all that stuff now is gone. I think now it becomes only about results. And I think the players, for the first time, are going to hear about it, and they're going to feel the pressure more than ever because the coach was moved out. They don't have right now an answer for who's going to replace him. And the standard is now set at 50 wins and no worse than a conference finals. But the expectation is, okay, you fired this coach who had great success, so that means whoever you hire next should get you to the finals. That pressure now is on, and it's on high.
Next hour, you're getting some time to think about this. I want a name for a coach from you guys coming up next hour.
Available or
no,
unavailable?
I mean, they clearly don't care if the coach is available or not. They've made that quite clear.